It's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services. We're in Verona, New York at the Independent Bankers Association of New York State Convention, and this morning had a terrific presentation on what's happening in the bank card, credit card space, and had a chance to hear from Tina Giorgio, who is the president of the ICBA Bancard organization. And Tina, the pandemic certainly changed how consumers spend, the shift from travel. What was some of the impacts you saw as consumers shifted their spend during the pandemic?
So during the pandemic, we saw more of the spend go from travel and entertainment to household goods, home improvement, those sorts of things. Because people had to stay home, they come up with creative ways to keep themselves entertained while they were there.
Very good. And certainly the method that consumers were using to pay for transaction, trying to go using digital wallets, contactless, tap and pay. What were some of the big areas of payments that consumers accepted and utilized during the pandemic?
So we saw e-commerce became the payment method of choice, tap to pay if you were in person. But what we did see is we saw about a 3-year acceleration in e-commerce acceptance in about 3 months. It was a very significant shift. We saw the hockey stick to the growth.
Very good. And one of the things that we talked about this morning was the impact phenomenon of buy now, pay later programs, shifting spend away from a credit card account, perhaps. How is that? What have been the some of the evaluations of those programs? As you mentioned, it has some impact on consumer credit quality.
It definitely has had an impact on credit quality. 75% of consumers who have taken out a buy now, pay later loan have been late on at least one payment. And this has caused the CFPB to take a look at the buy now, pay later solutions that are out in the market to determine if there is something that should be done from an oversight perspective because of the impact to consumers.
Very good. And one of the concepts, and kind of a new term for me, but very applicable, the super app that consumers can put deposits on a maybe what we used to call a private label card, perhaps for something like Dunkin' Donuts. And then there's a fair amount of money that stays on those cards that's not going to go through the credit card or banking system. Why is that such a big phenomenon today?
So the super apps, it's all about friction. And the super apps have really found their place because they hold the deposits, they offer rewards for purchases, for example, Starbucks. But even some of the other super apps like Cash App or PayPal, it's because they're the ability to use it in multiple locations, to pay friends, to pretty much do anything you need to do. And so the average PayPal account has a $700 balance sitting on it. What consumers don't know is that those are uninsured and they don't have any recourse if something goes wrong.
Very good. Now, what are some of the recommendations you have for bankers, for community bankers, for supporting their bank card programs?
So I would say they need to look at the penetration, usage, and activation of their card programs, look at their target audience, look at the types of transactions even that are coming through on their deposit accounts to determine what products and services they should be delivering so that they don't get disintermediated in the payments ecosystem.
Very good. And if you would just tell us about your organization and the services that you provide to banks.
Sure. So ICBA Bancard provides a suite of payment solutions to community banks around the country. We currently have about 2,400 clients. We have about 6.5 million debit cards and about 1.5 million credit cards in our portfolio under management. We take that collective buying power of community banks to leverage pricing, service levels, and have a voice in the payments industry on their behalf.
Very good. Tina Giorgio, the president of the ICBA Bancard organization. Great to see you. What's your overall thought of the convention?
I thought it was great. It's always nice to be out and engage with community bankers, and it's great to be back in person.
Absolutely. Tina Giorgio, great to meet you here at the New York State Conference of the Independent Bankers Association. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services.